Hey guys, this is Kevin from MixCoach. I wanted to put together a short tutorial for you because I was doing a tutorial last week for my members at MixCoachMember.com, and I neglected to do two things. I forgot to do two things. One thing is just to let the song play and then show everybody the plugins that I'm using for this particular mix, most of which I went over with them last week in the tutorial. But the second thing I forgot to do was show them one particular channel, which is the background vocal channel. So first of all, let's listen to this from the very beginning, and I'm just going to open up from left to right. I'm just going to pull this over here, and we'll just go from left to right and give you a sneak peek of some of the things that I'm doing. Now, for you guys who don't know my mixing or my mixing style that I teach at MixCoach Member, one of the things I do is this is the monitor section. So I've got everything going from right to left. I've got the B3 going to the instrument bus. I've got the bass and the kick drum going to the kick and bass bus, and then I've got the kick and bass bus here going to the band bus, and then I've got between this and the drums, that's a complete drum kit. So I've got everything kind of packed in coming here. All of the instruments are coming through the band. All of the vocals are coming through the background vocals and lead vocals through the vocals, and then both the vocals and the band, if you can see here, are going through the stereo mix, and that is here. And that's what we're actually printing. Actually, this is the print of the mix, and this, so the vocals and the band are both coming to the stereo mix. And then I'm hitting this with just barely an L2007 Massey that is set to -1 dB and 0 here. So this is only a brick wall limiter. But the monitor section is what I experiment with, say putting a Steven Slate FGX on there, which I'm not using on this song. But I use my metering there, I've got another, like the BX meter, the Brainworks meter, I'm using that. So I can actually experiment with what something would sound like on the 2-bus, and then when I go to put it on the 2-bus, I don't put it here. I put it either on the Vox bus, on the band bus, or on the mix master fader. So anyway, that's just a short explanation of what I'm doing. So I'm going to start the song. This is a song that was given to us by Rolf Wire of Wire Sound. He's a great songwriter, musician. We cut these tracks in Nashville, or he cut these tracks with some friends of mine in Nashville, cut the background vocals in Nashville, cut the vocals here in California, and we mixed it here at my studio. So let's take a listen to it. I'm going to try to get through all these in one pass. I'm not going to go through the bottom, these sends, but this is my vocal verb, and it is going through this guy. And this is my acapella mix, which we're not seeing right now. These are stems of my mix coming from the band bus. And these are verbs. This smack track is basically a track that's going to the drum bus here. This is a smack, and I've got a DBX 160X on there. So. But we'll get to that. Okay, so without further ado, thanks, Rolf, for the song. Great song called Say It Slowly. And here we go.
A thundercloud moving heavy across the sky. Question marks mocking entry into your eyes. The storm touches down, my head spins. I feel myself giving in. As you speak, the rain begins, and I'm thrown to the wind. Oh, say it slowly, tell me a million times. Don't try and hold me, no, no. Say it slowly, say goodbye. 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 you're doing, your explanation, your future plan. Where was my heart when love died? I saw no funeral in your eyes. Freedom will not satisfy the longing you leave behind. Oh, say it slowly, tell me a million times. Don't try and hold me, no. Go, say it slowly, say goodbye. Go on and toss me away. Cross me off of your list today. I won't play, so stay no shame. I'll take the blow, but not the blame. Oh, me a million times. No, try and hold me, no. Go, say it slowly, say.
Okay, so that's almost the end of the song. So what I wanted to show you, hopefully you got a glimpse of some of that stuff. If you didn't get some of those presets or whatever, just rewind or come to the MixCoach member and download the session for yourself and experiment with it. Okay, so what I wanted to show the guys on MixCoach, and I thought I would show you guys too, is the two things I'm doing to the background vocals. If you notice, I'm not doing anything to the background vocal channels. Most people would just, a lot of times I'll just throw an SSL channel on there, filter out the lows, add a little top end, and go for it. But they're recorded really well, and these background vocals are 3 persons per part. So let me see if I can find a little. What I'm saying is three people singing on one microphone.
Oh, say it slowly.
So that's 3 passes of 3 people. So that's 9 voices total. And then I've got them running through this bus here. And what we have on there is I've got these on the bottom here are splits for subsequent mixes, like a TV mix and a split track. This is my vocal verb. Now I realize that I am doubling up on reverbs. Doesn't bother me really. I mean, if it sounds good, it is good, and I liked it. Rolf liked it, and we kind of left it at that. So this has got some vocal verb on it, which is a delay in the Valhalla verb. So let's listen. I'm going to solo these 3 channels here.
Oh, say it slowly.
So this is the delay is coming from the vocal verb, which Rolf is hitting that too. So there's just a little bit of a slap back delay here. It's happening. It's kind of an 8th note delay with no. It's just a slapback thing, and it's 100% wet. So pretty much 100% wet would be that basically serves as a pre-delay for this guy. Which when you look at it here, you could have set the pre-delay. Or I could have set the pre-delay, but I didn't. So, but that's not the thing I wanted to show you. I experimented with running the vocal through the Dopamine gem. It's a really cool plugin that I found. It emulates noise reduction that kind of gives vocals a little bit of a bite. I felt it was a little too much for the background vocals, but I did use it on Rolf's vocal, which that is in another tutorial too. But instead, what I did on the background vocals is I put the Ultra channel on it. So let me play a little bit of the background vocals. I'll put a little bit of Valhalla Room in there. I'm just becoming a big fan of this verb too, and it's $50. It's really cool. So let's.
Oh, say it slowly, million times. Don't.
So there's not a ton of Valhalla Room in there, as you can tell. It's I've got maybe 15%. Which is not a lot. This is basically just kind of emulates them standing in a big room. That's really what I was going for, I think, just to make it sound less studio-ish and less like they were really close to the mic and more like they were in a section in a bigger room. So I'm going to bypass the verb, and I'm going to bypass the Valhalla verb so that you can hear this ultra channel. That this is what I forgot to. I had some people to ask me on a webinar that we had last week for our members that we have every month, and they were asking me, how did you get the background vocals to cut through? I was having trouble with that, and then I remembered that I forgot to tell people what I was using. Now, I got this plugin, full disclosure, I got this plugin when they first started offering it, and I think I got it for $0. It was at the time when they were offering it for free, and I just kind of grabbed it, kind of like a lot of us do, and I just kind of sat on it. And then one day I found out that this is really good for background vocals because it's really a channel strip. So this is it's got input phase, it's got a simple gate on it, it's got a simple compressor on it that you can also, this saturation knob right here adds a little bit of bite to the background vocals. I'll let you hear it in just a second, but it's also got a de-esser that you can use. And then it's got this thing called a oppressor, which is like the baby version of a omnipressor, which I haven't used a ton, but the few times I did use it, it sounded really, really smooth and had some character to it. So that's what I'm doing. It's a very, very low ratio, and you'll probably see when we move that it doesn't even get to 10. It's probably 3 or 4 dB of gain reduction. Two reasons I'm using this is it's a nice EQ, nice leveling compressor, and then mainly the micro pitch shift. Now, Eventide is known for their micro pitch shift, which I was watching a tutorial today, and some of my favorite mixers still use this hardware unit to this day in micro pitch shift mode. Now, I guess they kind of glued that number one preset into the one module of this. It's also got a delay, which I don't think I'm using. I'm not using the delay at all. So it's got a transformer emulator on the back end of it, which gives it a little bit of warmth too. So let's listen to it without this, and then let's listen to it with the delay, with the ultra channel.
Oh, say it slowly. Million times. Don't hold me, no. Go.
So not a ton of nothing earth-shattering there, but I want you to hear a little bit. Let me put the band back in so I'm going to leave the band out for now, and I'm going to let you hear it without the pitch shift.
Oh, say it slowly.
Again, nothing earth-shattering there. It's all small things. Let's listen to it with the saturator and without. This is with it.
Oh, say it slowly. Million times. Don't hold me, no.
That saturation actually adds a little bit of bite and top into it. With and without the oppressor.
Oh, say it slowly. Million times.
So nothing earth-shattering there. It's just kind of containing it just a little bit. I think this is probably what made the most difference.
Oh, say it slowly. Million times. Don't.
So that definitely adds a little bit of air to it. It's a little bump at about 7K, 7 dB at 7K, which is not a small amount, but it does seem to help. It's a very transparent kind of thing. As you can see, when you bypass it, it's not a huge difference, but it is a big difference. So let's listen to the track with this and without it, and then I'll bypass it and let you hear the difference of how the vocals are cutting through.
Say it slowly. Million times. Don't hold me, no. Don't.
So that's it for now. That's my walkthrough of all the plugin channels that I used on this particular song, Say It Slowly. Again, you can grab this song if you become a member of MixCoach member. That's mixcoachmember.com. And also that's my setup of the Ultra channel from Eventide. Really cool plugin. Okay, talk to you soon. This is Kevin from MixCoach. Bye.